Hello and welcome to the last Monday of January 2021. Time flies when you're having fun. Now, since this is the last week of the month that I have done, I'm going to let you know that there is a lot of comic book news because the last week of the month has all of the announcements for the books coming out in a couple months. As such, I can't cover everything. There's like 400 comics that will be coming out in a couple months, so there's no way I could tackle all of it. But I have tackled a lot of it. I've tackled a lot of the big things, the exciting things, the new things, the things I like. So hopefully you guys like it too, and if nothing else, I'm Henry, and this is the news. Alright, first off, writer Donny and artist Ryan Stegman will be leaving Venom with issue number 35, which doubles as the 200th issue anniversary celebration of the Venom solo title. Now, this book will be coming out in April, and it is the issue that comes out immediately after the end of King in Black, which is the project that Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates are currently working on. It is the culmination of years of storytelling. The two took over for Venom in 2018, and it led to Absolute Carnage, and now King in Black. It has been a sales juggernaut for the majority of that 3-year period, and it's great that they get to end on a high note. I expect that Marvel is not going to let the book lie dormant for too long. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a brief hiatus, but with the supposed Venom sequel coming out later this year, I imagine that Marvel's going to put on a big new shiny creative team to try to capitalize on that, easy marketing opportunity. So Venom is probably done for a little bit, but probably just a little bit. Spider-Man's been known to don the black costume from time to time, but what if he never took it off? That is the question at the heart of Spider-Man Spider Shadow, a brand new miniseries from writer Chip Zdarsky and artist Pasquale Ferry. Now, this series follows an alternate timeline where Peter Parker gives in to his darkest impulses and never takes off the Venom symbiote, probably doing some pretty bad things along the way. It's also a subtle rebranding of the What If moniker that Marvel has previously used in many books, and it's going to be the title of the new What If animated series. I don't know where this book is going to go. Spider-Man Life Story was another series by Chip Zdarsky that followed an alternate take on Spider-Man that went in very different directions. So it'll be cool to see what he does with this, because we've seen a lot of books that follow, Spider-Man in a black costume. We got symbiote Spider-Man. We have, Back in Black. We have all these times where he's worn a black costume. So it'll be interesting to see what Zdarsky and Ferry do to differentiate this from those previous books. The Mighty Women of Marvel take center stage in the Women of Marvel one-shot coming out this April. Now, this 56-page comic is an anthology that has many different creators writing stories about many different characters. It features Nadia Shammas, Sophie Campbell, and Elsa Hunison, and I'm excited for it. I always like that Marvel puts out little one-shots that showcase a lot of new talent, a lot of fresh voices in the comic book industry, and this is a great theme to get behind. I'm particularly excited to see what Sophie Campbell does. I've always really loved her work, and I haven't seen her do anything for Marvel, at least nothing that I can recall. So I'm curious to see what she has to offer, and the book is just a great opportunity to sample a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different creators, and do it all in one shot. So yeah, it's great stuff. Issue 13 of Guardians of the Galaxy will double as a 175th issue celebration for the franchise. Now, the book will be written by series writer Al Ewing, but joining him will be new artist Juan Frigeri. And along with Juan Frigeri joining the team, a bunch of new characters are joining the team, including Hulkling and Wiccan, fresh off of their star-making performance in Empire, last summer's big Marvel event. I love Al Ewing. I love what he has been doing with the Guardians of the Galaxy book. It's been a really fun, wild cosmic tale, and he said that this is now going to set the new direction for the series, and it's going to have big ramifications down the line for Marvel's general cosmic tapestry. Given how great he is at everything he does, and also knowing that Immortal Hulk is probably going to be ending this year, I'm really excited to see that he's going to be putting a lot of focus on the Guardians of the Galaxy book. Plus, it's Wiccan and Hulkling, who are two of my favorite characters in all of comics. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. 175 issues, awesome stuff. Okay, so Marvel is teasing the return of Heroes Reborn through a series of images that they put out across social media last week. We got a look at a bunch of, images from this new Heroes Reborn something. I don't know if it's a series, I don't know if it's a book, I don't know if it's a branding for a bunch of different books. Marvel isn't saying yet. But we know that Carlos Pacheco drew these images, and we know that these characters that we have seen in these teasers look like mashups of different Marvel characters like Juggernaut and Doctor Doom. The original Heroes Reborn does celebrate 25 years this year, and it's a little bit of an infamous story, I think is safe to say. Heroes Reborn was a storyline in the 90s in which Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Avengers, Fantastic Four were whisked away to another world, a counter-Earth, and put in the hands of Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld in an attempt to boost sales. It did not work, and Marvel quickly undid every single thing that they did with Heroes Reborn. But it does have a cult following to this day, so it makes sense that they want to celebrate 25 years of it. I have no idea what to expect from this story. That's it, yeah. Carol Danvers is going to be getting a new costume in the pages of Captain Marvel issue number 28, due out this April. Designed by artist Marco Cicchetto with input from series writer Kelly Thompson, the new costume reflects a slight change in direction for the series as Carol realizes her vulnerability to magic and decides that she needs to learn the mystical arts. This costume looks great. I love Marco Cicchetto's artwork, and I think it's cool to see this new design being applied to the series. I don't think it's going to replace her main outfit, really, because we've seen in Kelly Thompson's run on Captain Marvel that sometimes she likes to swap out for a different outfit when the situation requires. This is also really cool, though, because it's a follow-up to some of the stuff from War of the Realms that Kelly Thompson was doing with Carol, where she realized that she really doesn't know a whole lot about magic. The series is great. I really, really like what Kelly Thompson's done with the Captain Marvel series. So I think that this is a fun outfit. I think it'll be a quick little thing that they do for a while, and I think it'll make for a fun read. Marvel announced a new documentary that'll be debuting on Disney Plus on February 12th called Marvel Behind the Mask. Now, this documentary focuses on the concept of a secret identity and how it applies to the Marvel Universe and its wonderful characters, specifically highlighting characters such as Black Panther, Miles Morales, the X-Men, and Captain Marvel. I think it sounds cool. I think it's fun to see that Disney is actually doing some documentary style coverage on Marvel, because I always find that stuff to be very fascinating. And if I were to take a guess, it seems like they're going to be kind of applying a LGBTQ or a person of color lens, or, a female lens to this based on the characters that they mentioned in their press release. I think stuff like this is really fun, and I think it also helps show people that there are a lot of themes and ideas that are applied to these characters other than just punching stuff, and it should make for an entertaining viewing. Image Comics have announced a brand new horror anthology series called The Silver Coin, due out this April. Now, each issue of this series will be drawn by Eisner Award-winning artist Michael Walsh, while Chip Zdarsky, Jeff Lemire, Kelly Thompson, and Ed Brisson all rotate in and out as writer. The book follows a supernatural coin that has horrible things happen around it and is passed along, as a coin is across time. Different people have the coin, different horrible things happen. Literally, chaos ensues. I think this sounds awesome. Every single one of these creators is like a fantastic creator. Michael Walsh has done fantastic work, and Jeff Lemire, Kelly Thompson, Ed Brisson, and Chip Zdarsky are all at the top of their game right now. This sounds like a great way to handle an anthology series, and I love that they've got Michael Walsh really uniting the series visually, and he's the one who came up with the premise so that he could work with these great writers. I think it sounds awesome. I think people should check it out, and I love that there's a demand for horror comics right now and a demand for more and more anthologies. I think it's great. The Green Lantern Corps will be boldly going where they've never gone before this April in the new Green Lantern series from writer Jeff Thorne and artist Dexter Soy. Now, we did already know that Jeff Thorne was going to be taking over for Green Lantern, and he's currently writing a story in the Green Lantern Future State series, but we didn't know that Dexter Soy was going to be joining him, and we didn't know that series lead John Stewart would be joined by Joe Mullane from the Far Sector series and Teen Lantern from the Young Justice series. Including Joe Mullane and Teen Lantern automatically changes the complete tapestry of these series because they're brand new characters who have only been around for the better part of like the last couple years, and they've never been introduced into the proper Green Lantern series. So there's new character dynamics at play. We have a fresh creative voice with Jeff Thorne, and Dexter Soy is an awesome artist. I'm really excited to see what this book has to offer. I'm excited that we're not doing another Hal Jordan book. Don't get me wrong, there have been plenty of great Hal Jordan stories. It's just there have been a lot of Hal Jordan stories and a lot less with John Stewart. So I'm happy that he's getting some time to take the spotlight, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this book goes. The world of the Old Guard is growing in the brand new miniseries, The Old Guard: Tales Through Time. Now, this will be an anthology series that sees series creators Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez joined by some of the best names in comics, including Brian Michael Bendis, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Michael Avon Oeming, Vida Ayala, and more. It tells stories that take place within the Old Guard universe, where immortality, plays an important role, so we get to really literally explore all of history. I think it's fun to see that they're further exploring the Old Guard. The movie last year that came out on Netflix starring Charlize Theron definitely did a lot for the book. It got a lot of people interested, so I'm glad that they're producing new stories to get those new fans something new to enjoy, and we'll see where the property goes from here. Boom Studios have picked up the license for Magic the Gathering and will begin producing comics for them this April with a series simply titled Magic. Now, this new book will be written by Jed MacKay and has the art of Iguara and follows a group of guild masters in Ravnica who are trying to chase down a bunch of assassins that tried to assassinate them. The last Magic book came out from IDW in 2019, so it's nice to see that the Magic property is getting a shot in the arm. It's getting a brand new start at a new company. Boom Studios does a great job with a lot of their licensed comics, so I expect that this is going to be a really fun read for Magic fans all over the place. Writer Garth Ennis and artist Goran Sudzuka will be reuniting for a new series called Marjorie Finnegan: Temporal Criminal. This new book is due out in May from artists, writers, and artisans, and will feature the title character traveling through time, causing hijinks along the way. This is the first book that Ennis has written for AWA. He also serves on their creative council, and should be a cool read. It's a great creative team. I love Goran Sudzuka's art, and Garth Ennis, his name is possibly at the highest popularity it's ever been because of Preacher and The Boys being adapted for TV. So we'll have to see where this book goes. It should be really cool. If nothing else, I know it's going to be really pretty. Writer Ta-Nehisi Coates ends his legendary run on Black Panther this April with the release of issue number 25 of the series. Now, Ta-Nehisi Coates took over as the writer for Black Panther back in 2016 and has helped raise the profile of the book to arguably the highest ever. Of course, we've had the movie coming out in that time, but the Black Panther comic has been absolutely fantastic. It is possibly the best book that has ever come out for the character, and it's going to be sad to see it end, but it's great that Ta-Nehisi is ending the book the way that he wants to. It's definitely not for sales. The book has always done incredibly well. This was actually originally supposed to come out last year, but it got pushed back due to the Diamond Comics distribution shutdown that, changed Marvel's entire publishing slate for 2020. So it's going to be sad to see this book end, but it's been a fantastic ride, and I'm sure that it's going to be read for years and years and years to come. Fans of Invincible finally have a release date for the animated series, which will be coming shortly to Amazon Prime. We now know that the first 3 episodes of the series will be coming out on March 26th, with new episodes following weekly after that. We also got a clip of Invincible and Omni-Man playing catch in a way that only they can by throwing the ball all the way around the planet. It's actually directly ripped from the source material, and I think it's a great indicator of what we can expect from the series, which looks like it's going to be a very pure adaptation of the source material. I'm very excited for it, and I hope that a lot of people really connect with the animated series so they can go check out the comic book as well. Death Walks Among Us in the pages of The Many Deaths of Laila Starr, a new series coming to Boom Studios this April from writer Ram V and artist Felipe Andrade. In it, the Avatar of Death finds herself banished to Earth after humanity seemingly stands on the edge of discovering the secret to immortality. Now stuck in the body of a woman named Laila Starr, she has to stop humanity from achieving their goal, otherwise she's out of a job. Can the future be stopped, or is death truly a thing of the past? Writer Ram V has been all over the place lately. He's doing great work on Swamp Thing and Justice League Dark, and I've always been a fan of Felipe Andrade, so I'm definitely going to be looking into this one. The last radio station on the planet is on the verge of collapse in Radio Apocalypse, a brand new series coming to Vault Comics from writer Ram V and artist Anand RK. Now, this series focuses on the last radio tower left on the planet after an apocalyptic event destroys the majority of humanity. But as this radio station is on the verge of collapse, its connection to a young boy becomes critically important. Ram V and Anand RK have previously worked on 2 different books for Vault Comics in the past, including Graffiti's Wall and Blue and Green. Growing up the child of a world-famous superhero isn't all it's cracked up to be in Jenny Zero, a brand new 4-issue miniseries coming out from Dark Horse this April. Written by Dave Dwanch and Brockton McKinney and featuring the art of Magenta King and Megan Huang, this new series follows the character of Jenny Zero, who is the daughter of Mega Commander Zero. And Jenny's kind of a failure. While Mega Commander Zero is this great hero, she's not, until one day she has to be because the world is calling upon her. I don't know anything about any of these creators, but admittedly, the cover art looks great. The premise sounds really cool. It looks like it's going to be an homage to tokusatsu series like Ultraman, so that makes me really excited because I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff, and it's also just something fresh in comics, and, you know, I'm willing to give it a shot. It's 4 issues, why not? So you fulfilled a magical prophecy to save the world that guided your entire life. Now what? That is the question that Logan has to answer in the pages of Destiny New York, a new series coming to Black Mask Studios this April. Written by Pat Shand with art by Manuel Pertano, the series follows the young woman, Logan, who, when she was 12 years old, saved the planet, just like the prophecy foretold. But now she's in her 20s and she doesn't really know what to do with herself anymore. That is until she meets Lilith, a young woman who is the daughter of a magical crime lord. Now, Logan finds herself wrapped up in an entirely new saga of chaos and crisis. This series sounds really fun and was originally produced through Comixology Submit, so it's really awesome to see that Black Mask is going to be publishing it monthly. This is also the return for Black Mask to monthly comic books because they haven't put out anything since last year due to COVID-19. So I think it sounds like a great way for Black Mask to get back into the monthly comic game, and it sounds like a really cool series. History is rewritten in the pages of Helm Greycastle, a new series coming out from Image Top Cow Productions this April. Written by Henry Barajas with art by Ramat Handoko, the new series follows an alternative look at history in which the ancient Aztecs defeated the Spanish conquistadors. I think it sounds like a really empowering series that has a fun D&D campaign-esque atmosphere to it, and I also think it's really cool that the first issue for the series comes with a one-shot RPG to really play up those elements. It sounds like it's got a great hook, you get a cool RPG in the back of the issue. Why not? Looks cool. When a young boy is ripped apart from his mother on his way to the US border, he develops superpowers that will change his life forever. That is the story at the heart of Home, a new series coming to Image Comics this April. Written by Julio Anto with art by Anna Wiesacek, this sounds like a really topical series that deals with immigration in a way that we don't generally see from a major comic book publisher. I'm really happy that Image is putting out this book, that they're publishing this series, and I think it's a great opportunity for people to, you know, understand the heart that lies at the center of these issues. I'm going to be checking it out. And in just a fun little piece of news, the DC Universe service is now DC Universe Infinite. On Friday, they made this transition, and as a result of it, they have lost the TV shows and movies that were on the DC Universe platform. Those are all now on HBO Max, but in exchange, they have gotten all DC comic books published up until 6 months ago. So it's a great way to read a lot of DC comics, and they have also added a lot of books from the Vertigo and Black Label libraries. I really love the DC Universe Infinite experience. I read a ton of comic books on there because it makes it easier to maintain a budget. So if you've never checked it out, I think that now is a really great time for you to do so. So that's it. That is all of the news that I have for you this week. Please let me know in the comment section what your favorite thing that I talked about was. While you're at it, can you please like this video and share it with your friends, because maybe they'll find something really interesting that they can enjoy somewhere in the middle of my rambling. And if you'd like, you can subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications so you stay up to date whenever I post a new video. If you want, you can also follow me across social media at White Cuban to get my up-to-the-minute thoughts on comics or movies or Pokemon Go. If not, I'll always be here every Monday talking to you about comic book news. So hopefully I'll see you next week. Thanks.